Hello guys, welcome to a new video and we're just gonna start. So first off, this just takes that, just there. Oh yeah. And in the time you since saw part 3, if you've seen it, make sure to see that before you see this because this map makes no sense. Especially this and this. Well, everything. And this. Anyways, let's here's the province map. I made it new provinces and territories. These territories used to not have provinces. That's way too straight. Oh well. The bigger the province, the less population. So you see, this this entire area is one province, but this entire coast is multiple tinier provinces. This has a much larger population than this. This province has a larger population than this province. Yes. And this province has a larger population than this province. Yeah. And yeah, I even made provinces for this nation. Yeah. Yeah, these provinces are so cool. I did change some provinces up here, made them a bit smaller. Population growth. This used to be one big province. Now it's that. Now it's that. Yeah. So, let's get on with the video, shall we? Shall we? Alright, so we're gonna start off with well, these guys declare independence again because, like, they declared independence once, they declare it again, and, like, yeah, that was easy. Well, that was short-lived. Or was it? They will begin to make advances into these new territory. This so-called independent nation that once existed but then got invaded by the brown team, then invaded by them. Yeah. But as they're doing this, something's happening. Like something crazy. This. The red team would make an invasion into their territory as they would quickly capture large amounts of their territories with their armies in the south as they would make a spearhead towards their capital city. And these guys would pull out of this territory and, like, actually begin to be pushed back by them because they're now getting attacked by all sides. As a new nation would also declare their independence over here. Like, yeah. Peace treaty. Hello, guys. Welcome back. Here's the peace treaty. When nation gains this, a puppet, this declares independence, as well as Green Nation, and this has to pay reparation to them, them, and them. So yeah. This nation isn't in quite a good predicament, would you say? Yeah, they're not. They're not. They're not. So, yeah. This nation just would continue to expand as they would begin to push inland and would begin to connect up with each other, making new trade routes, and connections to a growing empire, which eclipse them, which strength them, and definitely them. These guys weak. But I wouldn't say they're like even with these, but not as strong as them. This is new number one. Yeah. So, yeah. They would continue to expand as they would just take full control of this region as they would look to further expand along the coast for more fishing as they would just continue up north, taking this whole peninsula along the way. Using these inventions called boats, they would discover some islands and eventually a much larger landmass as they would be like, whoa, let's build some ports here. And like, yeah. So that's what they do. And guess what? Guess what? Money. They become number one economy. Hashtag number one. No, that's one hashtag. Well, they're number one economy, okay? Okay. Anyways, the brown team, who've been quiet for a little bit, could begin their expansion once again. Mainly focusing on Africa, as they would build a large new city as it would become a center of trade in the Mediterranean, as they would just, like, literally just, come on, bro. They could just make a massive empire in the Mediterranean, as they would eventually cross over into Europe from Africa and would discover islands as they would re-establish their power, but nowhere near to what they used to be. Well, I mean, they're more powerful than they used to, but these territories need investments to build that new infrastructure and to populate it. So yeah, that's gonna take a little bit. Unorganized territories as of now. So yeah. These guys would just continue to move over here. So yeah. But then they would get invaded. And they would be like, okay, who cares? We're just going to abandon that land anyways. And they're like, yay, we get land? But we'll do that fight. With these new lands, this new country will begin to expand into its own empire. As it would be like, yeah. As it would make large expansion, like crazy large. So yeah, like that. Establishing their dominance, and they become more powerful than this. And they say, we came from you, but no, we're stronger than you. We're going to invade you. And they exactly do that. They're just overwhelmed defenses of this nation who already lost the war not too long ago and would just over the time since this invasion, its population has grown significantly, but the government didn't really use that new population too well, as they just said, we don't need an army. We won't be attacked by this or this anymore. But they were wrong, as their capital city would soon be captured. Isn't that just sad? Yeah, it is. Peace treaty. Second peace treaty of the video. Alright. Yeah, here's the peace treaty. They just gained these territories. Yeah. Not that much. So, yeah. Oh, not that much. It's not that much, bro. But they're crippled due to this defeat. They are not close to equal. Not close. This established their power like crazy. So, let's go back to the brown team. I see you're continuing your expansion. Oh, wow. Oh. Just took a massive chunk of Iberia. Oh, and discovered this island along... I also discovered that. Oh, red team took all of Sicily. And Sardinia. And Corsica. Green team responds to their expansion with expansion of their own, as they would move up to these mountains. Yeah. Because, mountains are hard to pass. Especially in these days. They would also expand over here. Or they would be like, all three of us want, you know what? I want this coast. You just want everything, red team. Red team wants everything. And you just want to become an empire, which you kind of already is. But I propose we make a partition of this nation, says the green team. as everyone agrees after they take this territory. Sorry, blue team, you're gonna go bye-bye. Bye-bye! This is the partition. Red team will take this. No. This. Green team will take this. And these guys will just take this. Problem solved. This totally won't lead to a war because now these big empires are now connecting. Obviously they touched before, but now they just have a large border. And definitely some border disputes. Let me fix this. Yeah, that's basically. Woo, 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 woo. So yeah. So yeah. These guys also finished their expansion south. So yeah, they get a massive boost. They do also do some expansion north with help with Green Team, as they also do expansion north, as they collaborate. As they're friends, not allies yet. Keyword yet. Yeah, that happens. Why does it feel like this green team is getting a bit too big? This brown team also feels like they're getting too big. And they're supposed to be on the decline after losing this and this. Purple team, Seems like purple team and brown team would be a perfect fit as allies to defeat the red team. And they're puppet and probably close friends. Yeah. I love this exclave. It's so adorable. Anyways, these guys continue moving back over here as they decide to finally settle back down, as they would just say bye-bye to these territories, moving their families over here. But these guys, some of them would decide, let's start our own nation, and say, okay, as they would actually quickly expand after making this, as it would actually be very, as this nation would begin to quickly grow, as it would seem promising to people in other nations looking for something new and new opportunities. So, yeah. People move here, and trade also starts to go wild. Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. Anyways. New nation? China / South Vietnam? Oh my god. Wait, no. Vietnam / South China? Huh? Oh my god, that's crazy. And they actually expanded really quickly. Well, this is across many years. I'm just making it faster because it's a YouTube video. And I say and then I realize that's not funny. Any of my is. So yeah. Anyways, when these guys connect up, trade's gonna go crazy. But that is not a yet. This isn't a fair, says the brown team as they lose their Iberian territory. And they say, this isn't fair. Again. And this new Iberian team just begin to expand as they would connect up with green team. Yeah, they just begin to expand as eventually they conquer the whole peninsula across a period of time. Brown team tries to launch a reconquest, but it seems to be very successful so far. No. Their armies get surrounded, but brown team says no, as their armies would begin to push back again, and they say no, as Iberian armies push back again. Brown army says no, as their armies begin to push back again. Iberian team says no, as their armies begin to push back again. Then they both say peace, 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 and they say yes. Of course. Anyways, brown team gets little territories, which in the future, when trade goes crazy, isn't gonna be too minor for much longer. Yeah. So that's the end of today's video. Hope you liked it. The end.